Alright, we have the curve C, his equation y equals f of x is larger than 0, where f dashed x is 30 plus 6 minus 5x squared over root x. Given that the point P, 4 minus 8 lies on C, find the equation of tangent to C at P, given your answer in the form y equals mx plus c, where m and c are constants. Oof, bit of a mouthful there. First thing really to note is that this is the differential of f of x, which means it is directly linked to the gradient. We know that this point lies on C, so what we can do is we can substitute this x value in here and find a value for the gradient at that point. So let's do that. So f dashed of 4 equals 30 plus 6 minus 5 times 4 squared all over the square root of 4, and this becomes, well, let's work it out. We have 30 plus, so this becomes 6 take away 5 lots of 16, so 6 take away 5 lots of 16 is, well, let's write it out actually. So 6 take away 5 lots of 16 is 80, all divided by the square root of 4, which is 2. And this just becomes, well, 6 take away 80 is negative 74. Negative 74 divided by 2 is 37. Okay, so which is just negative 7. Well, what we have then is we have f dashed of 4 equals negative 7, which tells us that our m equals negative 7. Okay, now it does have a specific format here, so y equals mx plus c. Now I'm still going to go ahead and use y minus y1 equals m x minus x1, just because I like it, no other reason. We'll get the same answer with a bit of bookwork. So let's go for it. So y minus y1, remember y is negative 8 from up here, so y minus negative 8 is y plus 8 equals negative 7 times x take away 4. So we can just kind of tidy that up. This becomes y plus 8 equals negative 7x. 7 times 4 is 28. This is positive 28. Then to subtract that 8 there from both sides, and we get that y equals negative 7x plus 20. Okay, so that's the equation of our tangent. We substituted it in, we found that gradient, and we played around with the algebra really. Okay, B, let's have a read through that. It just simply says find f of x given each term in its simplest form. Well, this is the differential, f dash x. So in order to go back, we need to take the integral. So let's just rewrite it so we've got it on our page. So f of x is 30. I am going to rewrite it, but I'm going to rewrite it ever so slightly differently. So we've got 6 take away 5x. I'm going to group it as 6 over root x take away 5x squared over root x. So I'm just going to split all that up there a little bit. It's just going to make the algebra a little bit easier. So we've got 6 over root x take away 5x squared also over root x. And now I'm just going to put all these x's into powers, because that's how we integrate. So I've got 30, oh that was bad, plus 6x to the negative half. Take away, this is x squared, and then x to the minus a half, which becomes 3 over 2. Which is arguably nicer than what it was in the first place. And now we can integrate. We do have a point, so I'm still going to keep my plus c on there. Don't forget your plus c, your constant of integration there. And we're going to have to find it this time. It's a bit trickier than earlier on in the paper. So let's integrate this. We've got the integral of 30 plus 6x to the negative a half. Take away 5x to the 3 over 2 dx. And you'll notice I've got brackets around it, and I've got that dx on the end. Don't forget your dx. We are integrating with respect to x, so you do need it. And this becomes, well, the integral of 30 is just a constant, so this becomes 30 that one's nice. X to the minus a half, remember we integrate, so we add 1 to that power and we divide by the new power. So we have plus 6 divided by a half. I know that looks a bit confusing, but bear with me. X to the power of a half, minus again 5x to the power 3 over 2. We're going to add 1 to that power there. So we've got 5x to the 5 over 2. And then divide by that power. So divide by 5 over 2. Okay. And we have that plus c. You can't forget the plus c. Now, we have... So sorry, I'm going to write down that this is f of x. Because it is. Yeah, it is. Oh, sorry, I got confused there. So I'll just tidy this up. So 30x, 6 divided by a half. Remember, you've flipped that, flip the fraction and times it. Yeah. So 6 times 2 is just 12. So this becomes 12x to the half. Take away, so 5 divided by 5 over 2 is the same as saying 5 times 2/5. Means the same thing. So we get 2. So minus 2x to the 5 over 2 plus that c there. Okay, so there's it all nice and tied up a little bit. We do now need to find that c value. Okay, that c value is necessary. It's part of the answer. So we're going to have to do it. And the way we do that is we substitute in the point that we're given. So we have a point. So given that the point P, 4 minus 8 lies on C. That was set up here, look. So just recapping. Let's put it in. So then we get that, sorry, I'll just put f of x there. So f of x in this case is y, because it tells you that at the start, the curve is equation y equals f of x. So I have that negative 8, the y coordinate, is equal to 30 times 4 plus 12 times 4 to the half, take away 2 times 4 to the 5 over 2 plus c. Now we've got to work out what all this is out. Sorry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just brute force it really. Remember, you don't have a calculator for this, so I'm just going to work out each individual bit. 30 lots of 4 is 120. 4 to the half is 2, so 12 times 2 is 24. And now we've got 4 to the power of 5 over 2. Well, 4 to the power of a half is 2. Then this becomes 2. I'll write that over here actually. This is 4 to the power of a half to the power of 5, which is just 2 to the power of 5 times under 2, I suppose. So it's 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So take away 64 plus c. So that's it all worked out. You can try these individual bits yourself, practice on a calculator for now if you need to, but you need to be able to do that numeracy in your head really. So I then get negative 8 equals, well, 24 take away 64 is probably going to be easier than doing it that way, so that becomes negative 40, and this becomes 80 plus c. Take away the 80 from both sides, and you get that c is negative 88. Alright, you should put everything back in terms of the answer. We will try to find f of x. So right at the bottom there, f of x equals 30x plus 12 x to the half, take away 2x to the 5. Ooh, that went funny. 5 over 2 plus that's the end, which we've now figured out is negative 38. And there's our equation for f of x.